Today is 20th February 2026, so in around July of 2025, I made my last video about rating fraud, specifically at a hospital called St. Martha's in Bangalore. And I'm currently in that's Feb 20th. I'm doing a follow-up video on what's changed because we reported the rating fraud repeatedly to hospital management and to the Catholic Church and to the nuns running the facility. So we'll get to know how ethically they operate from the response to our complaint. So you can see about 8 months ago, they had sort of used, I think, local guides and professional reviewers to sort of add some points to their star ratings. They were artificially raising the star ratings at that time, and I think a complaint was made about in at the end of middle or end of July, and I think by August there seems to have been a decrease in activity in that direction. So this also coincides with the time they had the NABH assessment. I believe 7 months ago was when the NABH audit was taking place, and the review bombing had stopped during the audit. So you can see here, for a month, 7 months ago, for 1 month, there were no positive reviews, artificial or natural whatsoever, only negative reviews. Well, it looks like one positive review, but for the most part, negative reviews there. Till about 6 months ago, now this is a very interesting one here, because 6 months ago, again, somebody had a very bad outcome at the MICU, which we've talked about before, 6 months ago, and this person's a little bit worried about what could happen to anyone who goes there. And after that, you do see 5-star ratings by a number of accounts that try and, a series of a rush of 5-star ratings pops in 6 months ago. This one's particularly interesting because we've seen this name, Dr. Anusha Correa, in the last video. So, somebody had used ChatGPT to generate the comment for Anusha Correa. And this person who's left the comment is, again, it's a little bit interesting, because when was the last time you went to a dentist, or your grandfather went to a dentist, and you wrote a comment praising that dentist and naming your grandfather? That's specifically referring to them by name. No one does that, but this guy does it. So if you look at his profile, you realize that about 6 years ago, this man was a professional reviewer. He seems to have gone everywhere, just calling things excellent, and probably getting paid for it. So that's the man who's here. And you can decide if this is an honest review or not. And then again, you get a few possibly really good ones, but then you also see something like this. So this again, dental treatment, Dr. Anusha again, and someone's praising the staff and the nurses and the service. And then you get a few, of course, a few people who don't, you get someone who doesn't leave any wording. And this is a very interesting one. So I'm going to show that this is a fake review. We are meet Dr. Shivashankari, she's treat, the very friendly, and give good giddiness treatment and consistence is very good. So this review, I'm going to argue, was left by a fake reviewer. I'll prove it over the course of this video. Then there are some real reviews, and again, well, let's see. Here you see a sequence of accounts with single reviews and strange names. Yeah, look at this. Ratings, I'm sorry, not reviews, just single ratings. No wording, all positive, and you see a sequence of them up to here, right? And all left in one very short period, right after a string of negative reviews, right? A couple of people say some really concerning things. Somebody temporarily lost their sight, and so on. And immediately you see this account, Ismail Zabi, and Arman Zuba. Take note of this. Arman Zuber has this very interesting way of spelling their name. A small letters, Z capital, Indravati Indra. You see the repetition there? And this seems to be a professional who may have created accounts and left these other ratings as well. Now we come down. Again, someone praising it. And now you see this again. You see the sequence of ratings. Ismail Adnan, take a note of that. Ismail, I small, right? So the first letter is small. It looks like a script that someone used to generate names that would pass as Muslim names, but they made an error and the I ended up coming out small. So even the Sarla Mohan Manjakshi account, I'm not sure about this. This could also be a bot account, but by some error it left a 1-star rating rather than a 5. So there you go. Here again are some concerning issues. Kavigada talks about someone having had possibly a student nurse. These are probably sisters, and a student nurse seems to have administered IV fluids too rapidly. Then you go. You reach this guy here, Manju Manjunath. Repetition in the name. Looks like a professional reviewer, but look at this one. My alt account, LOL, has reviewed the hospital and given it a 5-star rating. And there we go. Here again. So after a string of negative reviews, they just start posting positive reviews. Single review accounts, repeating names, Shreya, Sanuvek Divana, S small, and so on, right? And it goes again, a couple of bad reviews, and along comes a local guide. So at some point, they start using professional reviewers. Now look at this here. Now this, Raghunath, right? Look at this again. He praises Dr. Shivashankari. But look at the way Dr. Shivashankari is spelled. Dr. No full stop, S small, which is exactly the way it was in the earlier instance, okay? This seems like a professional reviewer. 14 reviews. And there you go, Dr. Shivashankari. Good consultation. Spelled the same way, doctor without a dot, Shivashankari small s. So you see this happen 3 times. And so it's almost certainly done by the same person. Again, this looks like a professional reviewer. So somewhere in the last 1 month, they've started hiring professional reviewers. Akhil Tadatil, and all of these people. Akhilesh Shukla with almost 1,000 reviewers seems to be working here. This guy, leaves a 5-star review just 2 days ago. Shadrock Gunashilan. He probably doesn't know that what he's doing is illegal, or doesn't care.